Alright, I'm back up in the canyon. This is my canyon hive. I'm gonna see if I can do another round of updates. Of course, it's gonna have to be midsummer updates because I didn't get to it earlier. Anyway, got this hive here. They've been pretty aggressive. I don't know if you can tell, but they're actually flying around hitting me. So I'm wearing my veil, and you know, this is actually one of the more aggressive hives I've ever had. But I'm actually excited about that. I think this is more like how bees should be. It also gives me a chance to use my smoker. Don't get to use this very often. It isn't actually good for the bees, but I mean, I don't visit this hive often enough to really bother them with it. So I have here some juniper bark, which I'm going to use as the smoker fuel, and some larger sticks to make it burn longer. I'll show you how I fuel my smoker here. Do a couple wads of this juniper bark. Now, there's grass around the hive, so I got to be careful. It did just rain, but I don't want to start any fires, so I'm going to keep most of this stuff up on here for now. Also, anyway, I guess I ought to bring a mower up and mow some of this grass around the hive, but I'm not quite sure how the bees are going to react to that being a more aggressive hive. So I got my little micro torch, just trying to light this bark, which seems to be a little wet. There we go. Let's put a little grass in there to help it get going. Yep, just lighting the smoker here. Get a little puff every now and then to help get the fire burning. Alright, let's go ahead and throw in the sticks now. Alright, still burning in there. My stuff's a little wet. Like I said, it just rained and I just picked most of this off the ground today. But I should still be able to get this to work, and moisture does make it smoke more. Let me get it burning real hot for a second. Alright, that'll help light those sticks. It's kind of hard to hold in the camera, actually. I've never done that before. Alright, let's throw the camera bag down. Extra fuel, the lid. Alright. Maybe you can see this. Got my smoker going. Set that in the dirt so don't light any grass. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this, go ahead and smoke this hive. There we go. That's probably all the more I need. I'll open them up. Okay. Just have that sitting there. The smoke triggers the bees into thinking there's a fire. It makes them want to go gobble up honey as fast as they can, and that makes them calm. You notice they're actually not buzzing me right now. Also, the smoke hides the alarm sense that the bees produce when they're being attacked, or think they're being attacked. And it can also be used to move the bees around. See, they're staying low on the frames because they're trying to get away from the smoke. Alright, probably actually don't need more than that. Let's take a look at how much honey they've been storing. They glued all their frames together, it seems. I see an unusually large number of drones. It could be a problem. Alright, let's see this. They're building comb here. Doesn't appear like any honey's on it. Take a look at the next one. Alright, it's got some honey. Not a whole lot. Looks like comb's a little crooked here. Let's see if I can just push that into shape a little bit. Take this piece out. There's a lot of drones, which makes me wonder how the queen's doing. So I'll get into where the baby bees are and see how that's looking. Let's take this all the way off, shall we? Right, the smoker has worked so well. It actually removed my veil, so I could, and it doesn't seem like there's causing me any trouble. Last time I visited them, when I got them some water, they were actually crawling up through my sleeves into my pants, and they were actually getting into my veil. But the smoke definitely does calm them down. See, I can even do this. None of them jump out at me. So that's good. Anyway, well, that's a bad example, but yeah. So I can see there's plenty of brood. I could also see where the drones were coming from, but it looks to me like they're filling in the drone cells with honey, and they're not going to be producing any more drones. So it doesn't seem to be a problem. Looks like we got a good queen. There's a few drones, but they'll all die off here in about a month. And, they're starting to store more honey, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty good hive. I've been trying to look for varroa mites, and I haven't seen any yet. Anyway, on to the next hive. You can see all these are honey. Alright, here's the next hive. You see I moved a couple rocks away so they got a good entrance there. A lot of bees are coming in and out. I'm going to try to be a little faster with these this update video. There's rather a few hives to get through. You can see here I've added another box since the last time. And I'm kind of curious as to how much they built up here also. A lot of these combs are already drawn out. Let me look at this one. Okay, nothing there. Yeah, they're not doing much up in the top box, I see. They haven't drawn anything more, and they haven't actually built anything on this. You can see there's the frame that I cut flat. Looks like they've cleaned most of the honey out. There. Alright, that one was kind of stuck. Yeah. Just a piece of wax. You can see a track left by a wax moth that the bees have repaired. Alright. That's how this hive's doing. We put it back together. Move on to the next. Alright, here I am at the mine dump hive. This is the hive that I replaced the queen on recently. Took the queen out of that nuc. See how they're doing. You can see their population is greatly diminished. It's unfortunate, but look at that. Nice solid comb, or nice solid brood pattern there. You can see down in there. There you go. Yeah, that's good. Those will be hatching out here in a few days. Great expansion to the population. Look at there. There's a little queen cell there, but there's nothing inside of it. All right. And that queen's not even laying drones. All right, next. Alright, under this board is my mating nucs, which I have redesigned a little bit. Alright, take the rocks. You notice I'm insulating them between with a piece of fiberglass batting, which seems to work very good. And here's the two colonies. What happened is that nuc that's over on the other side of the wash, over that way, the nuc, when I put the new queen in, they didn't accept her, and they killed her right away and ended up making some new queens. So I grabbed a couple queen cells and I put one in each of these chambers. Well, I put two in here. You can see one of the queens that was killed by the other queen. It's right there. See the queen cells, one of them's open from the side. Ah, there she is. There's the queen, right there. I don't see any eggs yet, but I do see they're packing honey away. This one, the queen had a deformity. Her wings were all curly, and there's no way she would ever fly. I was hoping to show you that, but it looks like the bees have gotten rid of her. So I think what I'll do is take these bees out of here, put them into this chamber, and then this box will be empty. Oh, anyway, now what I did to these mating nucs is all I did is I rearranged the food chamber. So you see now it sits upright so that the candy don't drain out. And I've also removed the center piece right here, so instead of having two nucs, I've just got one that's kind of larger. And it's my hope that the larger size will help make them not want to scund so readily. Alright. Alright, looks like that little operation was a success. You can see I got more bees in here, and I'm just waiting for the rest of the stragglers to come by. See, they're finding their way in. Anyway, I forgot to mention what caused the deformity to that other queen, and what causes that curly wing thing is the varroa mites. When the mites are biting the baby queen while it's still developing, it messes with her wings. At least that's what I'm told, and it makes sense. Anyway, looks like most of the bees are in here. I'm gonna go ahead and close these up, shoo the wasps away. You may notice I did one more thing. See, I've only got 3 screws in. That way I can just slide the glass back and forth. Alright. Alright, here's that nuke, which I said that they had replaced the queen on. They didn't accept the queen that I put in here. Let's see if any new queen is taken over. I don't see anything yet. You see where I cut the queen cell out. Looks like they got a little bit of honey and pollen and and mostly new bees, but I don't see any queen or eggs. Let me sit down so I can look. Alright, there's eggs. Just a few though. Means he just started laying. Haven't seen the queen yet. Let's check on the other side. Oh, there she is, right there. Alright, well, despite having a lot less bees than last time, they look like they're doing pretty good. I think what I'll do is I'll take that queen out, put her in the other mating nuke, which I just emptied, and then take these frames and put them with another hive. Probably that one I took from the garden hive to beef it up for winter. But I'll do that another time. Okay. Now there's this hive over here. I don't think I'm going to open it today because I just opened it a couple days ago. I'll just tell you what I found. I saw that they are queen right. They're storing a little bit of honey, but there's very few baby bees, very few eggs and stuff. And I'm not sure if that's because the queen's not doing very good, or if they're just slowing down production because there's not very many flowers. Either way, I'm gonna have to just keep watching them and see how they do. They might take off again. But most of the honey they were storing, they were backfilling into their worker comb. Yeah, looks like they're pretty active. So, alright, moving on. Anyway, we have here the honey. After it settled off, I went ahead and skimmed off the wax cappings. You can see them here, they're still wet, but I can drain extra honey out of those. So I got here the pitcher that I filled that I dipped the honey out with, and I'm just letting it drain off. And here's some jars.
How many pixels is your camera?
5 megapixels. Okay. See if I can do this up.
I go to the DI a lot.
Too much.
Whoa, whoa. That is gorgeous.
I'm gonna pick up my camera. What you doing?
Here, I'm gonna get some pictures too.
Looks like I filled them okay. If you had to, you could like spoon it from one to the other.
How'd you get into
Alright, I'm at the community garden hive. I recently harvested honey from this, and I actually just bottled the honey. And in the process of trying to get over here fast enough to get there when they wanted to bottle the honey, I ended up forgetting to go to the other hive. So I'm just going to have to skip that for now and show that in a later episode, the Grantsville hive. Anyway, here's this. You see the locking mechanism I put on here, which is just a tie-down strap. I figure if they're drunk enough to mess with a hive, they're probably going to be too drunk to figure this out. So, yeah, it's even hard to do sober, so there we go. Alright, just unhook that from the nail, then roll the rock off, and I'll go ahead and open it now. This hive here I just harvested honey from. There's some earwigs apparently. That's interesting. And let's see how they've reacted to having their honey taken. Got that open. They've glued it down. Alright, looks to me like they've just cleaned up the combs in this top box. I don't think they've been putting any honey back up here. Let me take a look at this middle one anyway. These bees put a lot of propolis on things, don't they? Alright. They are actually putting honey back in here. That's cool. Might end up having to harvest this again sooner than I think. Let's look in the bottom box, or the second super down. It's got a little bit of honey in it, but it's significantly lighter than it was. Let's have a look in here, see if they got any capped honey. Just pop open one of these in the middle. Yeah, I like how the combs are a lot flatter now. There we are. Oh, look at that. Not bad. About whole frame filled with half cells, half filled with uncured honey. Actually that's cured. Nice. So they've replaced at least 20% of what I took. Alright. I think I'll close them up and move on to the next hive. Yeah, they stopped bearding. That's good. That mylar on the lid definitely helps. It's just too hot. It's got holes in it. Are there any bees on there?
Just a few. Oh.
Should have brought something for him.
They're grumpy.
They are a little bit cranky, I can tell. I could get away with it. Oh, that one fell now. That sucks. You might need your suit.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cranky.
They are. They're trying to rebuild in there. You see, in just a few days they've... Alright, I had Monica go get the veil, because the bees are kind of stinging me in the face a lot. You can see here the combs that have fell. And they've tried to reattach it, but it's all crooked. And that ain't going to work for us. So I'm going to go ahead and cut her loose and take out everything that's crooked. We got kind of a honey flow coming in, so maybe it won't hurt them to harvest all this. Camera keeps stopping. Must be low on battery or something. Anyway, see, there's quite a bit of honey there's packing away still. It's just not gonna work for me. It's not straight enough. I can't come in here and work on it. Alright, let's see what I can do. This camera's gonna stop again. Alright, should have just enough battery. See here, I got the hive all back together. I just went ahead and took out those 4 frames that fell. I just took them right out of there. We'll go mash and strain the honey off this. Try to keep the bees out of it. It's early enough in the year that they'll probably be able to replace it. Oh yeah. Let's see how it goes. If it comes to it, I can always feed it back to them.